Andrea, this is the first Mercedes we've ever reviewed on the channel. We're starting it off with a bang with the Mercedes EQE500. This is their E-Class electric SUV, and I'm liking the way it drives. Like, it's so smooth and quiet. It's just a very comfortable drive. How do you feel about it?
I feel exactly the same, but what my question is to you is, when you drove this car for the first time, you didn't feel that way.
That's true. When I first looked at this car, I was like, I'm not the biggest fan of the design because it has this like egg-shaped look, and it's just Mercedes' image of what an electrical car should look like compared to their gas cars. And I feel like it's one of those...
What would you prefer, though, other than an egg shape?
Well, I mean, electric cars are not supposed to look like eggs. If I
But
wanted
this
eggs, I'd
doesn't
go to
look
the
like an
grocery store.
egg.
Maybe a jelly bean?
I think it's a beautiful car.
No, that's...
Both on the outside and on the
Okay,
inside.
so let me get there. But it grew on me, right? Like, I think for me, I still don't like the way the back looks, but I love the way the front looks. Because instead of having like a fake tacky grille, it has this like black plastic piece with all the star icons of the Mercedes
that's really cool.
embedded into them, which I think looks super classy. It just lets everyone know that you're driving a Mercedes-Benz.
But a luxurious looking.
But a luxurious one. Now, there's obviously different packages you can choose from. This is probably the second one from the top end model, which is the AMG. And of course, you don't have those sport accents, but I still think from the front, it looks very sporty. And then as you make your way to the back, it gets a little bit more bulbous. Now, there's a reason why Mercedes is doing this, in all fairness, though, because it helps with aerodynamics. By smoothing out the car, by making it a little bit more sleek, they're able to cut through the wind a little bit easier and obviously give you a bit more range.
Yeah, I mean, it has, so it says, we were told that we'd get about 430 kilometers of range. And you know what? We got really close to that.
Very close to
Yeah.
that. The cool thing about it is they tell you exactly what 100% looks like. So when we charged it to 100%, it was about 422 kilometers. So not far off from their estimated range, but it also tells you what your more realistic range is going to be. So like right now it says 172 kilometers for max, but 132 kilometers to the left of it based on today's weather conditions, how I'm driving, and where I'm driving, which is also kind of cool. So it gives you more of a realistic approach.
And because it has a heat pump, right? It does. This car does have a heat pump.
Oh yeah, of course.
It works really well. It's really accurate in the winter as well.
Yeah, which I like. It just does a better job of keeping warm. You are going to lose range like you will with any electric car, but it's not as bad as, let's say, something like the Mach-E where there's no heat pump at all.
Right.
Now, there is one thing that's a little bit of a weird thing for an electric car, which is the fact that you can't get in to the Frunk. Like, it's completely...
No access.
No access. If you want to get into it, you need a special tool, and that's due to the air filtration system that's embedded underneath it. So what they've done is, on the left-hand side, there's a little access port that allows you to fill up your windshield wiper fluid. Actually, out of all the key fobs I've used recently, this one feels like super solid. Like, it's nice and chunky. It feels like premium, you know? Yeah. Most of them I've been using are plasticky and whatnot, and they're just not the greatest. But this one feels very premium. As soon as you approach the car, the handles pop out, which I love.
I love that too.
Absolutely love. And they're proper handles. They're not like the reverse handles you get, let's say, on like a Tesla or something, right? They pop out, you grab it, you get in, they feel super solid. The door closes very quietly, and then as soon as you're in here, it just does such a good job of blocking out the exterior noise. Now, right now we're merging onto the highway. I'm going about 60 kilometers an hour, and I could be driving 150 kilometers an hour, and it doesn't feel like I'm going that fast. Like, they've done such a good job with suspension on this car because they're using air suspension, which just makes going over all those bumps a little bit smoother. So what's your top feature about this car?
Well, the Hyperscreen, for sure. That is my top feature.
See, for me...
The MBUX Hyperscreen is my favorite. I know it isn't yours. You don't feel this is, you know, a screen. So this is a 56-inch piece of glass. And what the Hyperscreen is, it has 3 displays, 2 12.3-inch displays on the side, and a 17-inch display in the middle. But it just looks like one large display because it's one big piece of glass.
But how much does it cost?
That's the thing. Would you pay almost $10,000 to upgrade to that?
So if
That's
it was
the upgrade.
So what are you really getting? You're getting a bigger screen, fine. You're getting a third screen.
The passenger has the ability to, you know, use all the features that you have in the middle as well. They can listen to music if they have headphones separately.
You think I'm going to pay $9,000 for a passenger to listen to their own music?
10,
Yeah,
almost
forget
10.
that. That passenger can bring their own Walkman.
But that's not the main thing, right? You have this beautiful, looks like one display, makes the car look so much more premium, because the alternative to that is you have the screen in the middle still, right? You have the one in front of the wheel, and they're separate displays, right? So.
Yeah,
and then you have the wood
still
paneling along. I think you have different options. One is a wood paneling along the front as well.
But having the third screen and a bigger display looks nice, but it honestly does not provide any extra functionality that I think is worth for that $10,000.
You do get upgraded tech as well,
like
right?
what?
It's
fine. You get a little bit of upgrades in the
Yeah.
tech department, but I still don't think it's worth $10,000.
No, I agree, but it does make the car look very premium, and I'm really enjoying the screen.
But here's the thing. I've showed this to your father. I've shown this to your brother. And the first thing that everybody says when they get into this car with this visor screen
yep.
is that it's overwhelming. Like, it's just too much going on,
But
right?
the thing is if someone is not sitting in the passenger seat, all you have here is
a typical car, which is nothing,
a
right?
clock, yes.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean,
you only have the ability to use this if someone is actually sitting in the
right,
passenger
exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, when you come into a car with 3 screens, as someone who's not technology oriented, this feels
Yes.
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Yep, I
Very
agree.
overwhelming.
It's been a week and I'm still trying to figure out certain things about the car.
Right.
Even though I've been sitting here for hours throughout the week trying to learn everything and navigate through all of this, I'm still, learning. And I think it'll
Yeah.
take time to learn as a new owner of this car.
There is definitely a learning curve to Mercedes MBUX system, and of course you have the ability to hook up CarPlay or Android Auto wirelessly, which by the way works very well. Now what we did discover though is that the sound quality of these speakers are absolutely incredible. Like, they sound beautiful.
I believe you have 31 speakers. 4 near the ear speakers, so you have 2 here.
These are 3 for 3D sound, right? For
Okay.
three stereo sound, sorry.
Yes.
And then you have speakers everywhere.
Yep, and then you have an 18-liter subwoofer.
But there's a couple of things that people need to know. So there is regenerative braking. It works great, but by default, they have creep mode on, which means when you are regeneratively braking,
You still have to push the brake.
you still have to push the brake once it hits 20 kilometers.
Right.
The regenerative braking goes off, and then you have to push the brake. But if you go into the menus, again, something you have to look for, you can turn creep mode off, and then it will regeneratively brake all the way down to 0, which I personally prefer. The wheel feels fantastic. I did find out that the heated steering is attached to the butt warmers. So you have to turn those on first. And once you do that,
have access,
the heated steering wheel will
Yeah.
kick in as soon as you turn on your seat warmers.
So we talked a little bit about range, right?
Right.
We did not let the viewers know that it has 402 horsepower,
Which is a lot.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
633 pounds of torque. So, it's a pretty powerful car, and it does feel pretty powerful when you drive.
Yeah, there's a dynamic button here on the middle console that allows you to change between comfort, economic. You can set your own individual profile, and if you put it in sport profile. Sport profile is the one you want it on if you want to go super fast. 0 to 60 in 4.9
seconds.
9 seconds is nuts. It's absolutely nuts for
Yeah.
a car this size. This is a car that weighs over 5,000 pounds, right? And it has a 90 kilowatt hour battery. This is a big boy. And the fact that it can go that fast is really, really cool. And it does it all quietly, which is amazing. I do want to talk about the storage in this car. It's quite good. The middle console over
This
here.
car has great storage.
Oh, it's so good. So you have the top middle console, which you have a slide that goes diagonally into the front of the car. And then you have 2 cup holders, which can be detached.
Which I'm not the biggest fan of.
Why? I like this idea.
Because you have to push this out of the way in order to get your cup in there. You can't just put your cup in.
Yes, you
have
can.
to move
Yes, you
this.
can. No. I was doing it. As soon as you go like this, it automatically just opens up like that.
It takes a minute though.
No, you just need the precision that I have.
No,
I am
it takes a minute.
top 10 FPS game mouse keyboard skill level of putting that cup in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but the cool thing
You're
is
just a noob.
this cup holder comes out.
That's what I'm saying. I like that.
I love that. So you can wash it, because your cup holders in your car are always so filthy, and it looks like you literally dump your coffee into the cup holders every day.
I leave it
it's
for
like
later.
You take your cup and you just dump it.
I don't do that.
And then it just gets crusty and dry. So this option is great for someone like you who is just a filthy human being.
Thank you.
right?
Well, I learned it from you.
Yeah.
But look,
sure.
you can walk into a coffee shop with this cup holder, and when they
then
say,
you don't need a- you
and
don't
when
need a
they say,
tray.
"Do you want a tray, sir?" You just boom, slap this on the table like, no.
You don't need a tray.
Mercedes.
Here, put it in here.
Exactly.
And then the glove compartment has a lot of storage.
Wait, you got to talk about the wireless charger
Okay,
over here
we
underneath.
can talk about that first.
2 Type-C ports on the left, and then you have your little center console. So again, this little button control system gets moved to the middle console if you get the hypervisor, because usually on the other package, it's already in the front bottom.
Hypervisor? Screen?
Hyperscreen, sorry. And then of course you can access your cameras, the EQ button, which will give you settings to your car, start, stop to start the car, which by the way will turn off by itself if you just like walk out. You don't have to actually stop it. Fingerprint scanner, right, for different profiles and to start the car, and then a power button. Now look, there's even more space. Like if you push this,
space.
you have a plush
That's deep.
arm pad, okay?
Yep.
And a deep gaping hole to place stuff in.
Gaping?
Gaping.
Gapping?
Gaping. Plus, 2 more Type-C ports if you want to like charge extra items.
A gaping hole.
There's a gaping hole.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a way to describe it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And then underneath,
And then under the console is the most storage.
you could hide a body under here. Okay, now over here, you have a glove compartment.
I already said that.
But what's in the glove compartment? Show the viewers.
Storage.
No, something else.
Wow, storage.
No, something else. There's perfume inside.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yes, there's perfume inside of there. This has the fragrance, I don't know if it's a fragrance package, but basically...
Yes, it does. You can literally spray out.
No, you don't spray it out, but the car sprays out every
That's
so
what
often.
I mean. The car, not you. Like you.
If
push
you
the
were
button
to sit
spray
here
out the
to physically
perfume.
spray perfume on me, I would just leave the car.
Then
but-
let me go ahead and do that.
No, it's not. And then this will like circulate it using the air filtration system to give you, it's not an overbearing scent. It's very mild, but it's not going to make you sick, which I found out.
We have to talk about another one of my favorite features. Maybe to some it may not be a big deal, but this literally makes me love this car even more. The ambient lighting on this car compared to any other car that has ambient lighting is so classy. And I know you're saying it's like a little bit much, but it's like a thin ambient lighting line across the whole dash, also on the back of our seats. And the amount of colors you get, multicolors, or you could do monochrome.
It's just RGB, dude.
Yeah, but you can choose between multicolor,
I know, but that's
where
what
it
RGB
changes.
is. Yeah, that's RGB. Like you can get that in a $10 fan. I'm not trying to say this is a $10 idea. It's just it looks great, but it's RGB at the end of the day.
But
right?
it's just incredible.
Yeah,
like,
it
as you
looks
drive,
really nice.
The colors are changing. It's beautiful. Makes you feel like at peace. You kind of feel like you're like meditating a little. You know, it's beautiful.
So what you're saying is, instead of booking a family vacation to sit on the beach, I can just turn this on
That's
for
right.
you, and you'd feel at peace.
Exactly.
Okay, done. That saves me a
Done.
lot of money.
Well, you have to get this car first.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
But look, I like it at night. It looks really cool at night. During the day, you don't
But
notice
during
it
the
as
day,
much.
you still see it.
You see it if you look, but it's not really noticeable.
But
But there are little things that do look cool. Like when you turn up the heat, this will start flashing red when you're turning the heat up, or blue if you're turning the heat down, which I thought was really cool, right? And if you go into like a
Yep.
sport mode, it's more sporty colors.
And then the venting below the ambient lighting, it's like this beautiful rose gold trim. It's just so beautiful and classy. I think they did
I agree.
Like Mercedes did such a great job with the design of the entire car.
What do you think of the massage feature in this car?
It's not a massage. It's like it's called seat kinetics.
Yeah, it just moves the seat
And
around.
it just moves your seat around a bit. I think it like kind of moves based on how you're sitting and how you're moving to kind of
Yeah.
give you a more comfortable feel. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan.
Like
but
it doesn't provide a real massage. You
Yeah,
turned it on
it's
for
not
me
a
yesterday when we were
massage.
driving on the highway. I'm like, Andrea, my seat's moving back and forth while I'm driving. Like,
Yeah, it was kinda
It was
weird.
weird. But you know what? Maybe it'll keep you awake, right? If you're doing a long,
Yeah.
distant drive. But the rear seats and the seats in general are ridiculously comfortable.
very.
Like I know you can upgrade to like a Napa leather option. I don't think these ones are Napa leather, but they feel like Napa leather and they just feel very comfortable to sit. They're nice and spacious. My back is just in here perfectly. I feel like I'm in a couch while I'm driving, which is kind of nice.
In a couch?
On a couch.
Okay.
Well, if I'm in a couch, I'm looking for coins.
Yes.
But anyways, just so much legroom back there, you know? Tons of
There's a lot.
legroom. There's no transmission tunnel. You have more Type-C ports. The rear occupants can adjust their own heat.
Yep.
Okay, you have little pouches on each seat so they can store items. Now, here's the thing. The rear space is bigger because they took a little bit of the trunk space to give those rear occupants more footroom.
Right.
So you do have a smaller trunk, which, by the way, didn't look that small to me. I think it's around
not.
18 or 19 cubic feet.
Yeah, it's not small.
It doesn't look
still
small
very
to me. I
spacious.
feel like it's spacious enough. Like, this is a
Yeah.
mid-range SUV. It's not like a S-Class size, but it's a mid-range SUV as it's supposed to be. There's obviously a lot of competition at this price point. You know, you have competition from Audi and BMW and so on, but I think this does offer a very compelling feature set.
But you can also go with the lower model.
That's what I'm
which
thinking.
is
Like,
the EQE
if I was to
350.
buy, yeah, you could. Like, if I was to buy this, I wouldn't get the Hyperscreen, first of all.
Right,
just me.
that's 10,000 off right
Yeah,
there.
like
right?
I would chop some
So-
of this stuff up, but like the basics and
the
are all there.
the
So is it worth the watt? Absolutely for me. And how about you?
Definitely.
There you go. That wraps it up. Our review on the Mercedes EQE500. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Like it if you haven't liked it already. And we'll see you guys in the next one.